everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Talkulture. I am Kid Cadet, once again joined by my co-host from the Milo Beasley Show. It is Mr. Milo Beasley. How you doing?
I am doing great. Thanks for having me back here.
Oh my gosh, of course. It's an honor. And I know you were excited about our guest. This is, I feel like, a band that you and I talk about pretty often. And I guess let's just bring him out. He's the one and only Jay Gordon, everybody.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
How's it going, Jay?
Good. How are you?
Good, doing good.
Happy 2023, which still feels a little strange to say. I'm still in 2022. How's the year going so far for you, Jay?
Cool. It's been a little rainy and stuff here in sunny California, but yeah, it's been crazy. But everything's good.
Yeah, I've been following the weather all around the world, and you guys seem to be getting it the worst. So
yeah, crazy.
What is essentially happening? There's just like too much water, but y'all can't collect it, or what's?
Yeah, it's really weird. Like, I think that they're never ready for the rain here, and like so all the streets just start flooding and stuff when it gets rainy and stuff, and people don't know how to drive in it. So it's just like, oh.
Yeah, that's all the videos that I'm seeing it's just roads turning into rivers.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I guess it's time to invest in a kayak. I'm not sure. Is that what?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, we're glad you are here. So we kind of wanted to start by asking you, Jay, about your fandoms growing up. What were some of your favorite fandoms, whether it's movies or video games? What were you into?
I definitely was into video games, like just video games, back in my day, it was like, I don't know, just you have to go to an arcade to do that, and then like in television and all those kind of consoles came out and I was all over that shit. So, but yeah, I love video games, my kids love this shit too. So
now, are you competitive against your kids? Like, are you the type of dad that's like, I'll let you in because you're my kids, or do you still like
mercy? No.
I'm just curious.
No, they do their own thing. They don't consult with me on any of this shit. Like they just do their own thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm actually a college teacher at Full Sail University, and I teach about video games. So it's always great to hear.
You get to teach that. That's a sick job.
Teach about the business of video games and how to have a career in the industry. And speaking of careers in the industry, you actually you got to voice a couple of video games. How did that happen?
That's not me. So I don't even, I don't know why that's on my IMDb or whatever. But that's definitely not me.
I feel like we should maybe for a second pretend that it is. No, I'm just kidding. I love that that's like part of your like Wikipedia and IMDb. So is that something that people asking or just have to ultimately debunk it all the time?
Yeah, I just, not a lot of people ask me that. So, like I wasn't sure how to go about getting some of that stuff off. Like, are you talking about like the Spider-Man video game and all that kind of? It says
like all over the internet. You know what they say? Don't believe everything on the internet, right?
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, I haven't done any voice stuff for any video games.
If you could, are there any characters? Are there any games you would like to work in?
I mean, I would do it for fun, but I've definitely put music on some video games for sure, and but I don't even think I'm allowed to say which one. Well, there's one coming up, so I'm gonna leave that one alone. I'm gonna leave the video game.
Yeah, be careful that
there's definitely some music coming out this year for sure on some video games, so we'll see.
That's so epic. Okay, so you were talking about
definitely haven't done any voice stuff though, but on that, like talking as one of the characters or anything. I'd like to do that though, so you should teach me how to do that since you're the teacher.
We know so many people.
Yeah. We know
Yeah.
we know some guys. I feel like the new big thing though is like these motion captures. Like I in my brain mostly related to Avatar, but obviously they do it for all of these first person shooter games or anything from like Red Dead 2 and all that stuff. Jay, do you play any of like those types of games, or do you prefer more like old school Nintendo stuff?
No, my kids play like what's that game they play all the time? It's really cool. I've played it with them a bunch. Wait, what's the game you play?
Is it Fortnite or the card game?
Well, yeah, Fortnite. Yeah, Fortnite or this great card game they play. Of course, Fortnite's like huge. So
How are your Fortnite dances?
I was gonna say how. Yeah, I was gonna say what dance.
yeah, I suck at that.
Same, not for me, but okay, just to pivot just a little bit. So Candyass was the first album that I ever purchased. I remember the day vividly, and I shouldn't say my mom took me and she purchased it for me, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to say the name Orgy over and over again throughout my entire life, because that's just so fun.
Sounds like
were there any
mom.
other Oh, she's literally the best and most supportive mom through all of my music tastes and craziness and styles throughout the year. She's incredible. Were there ever any other names that were considered, or was it always Orgy?
I mean, I'm sure there was. I don't even remember what they would be at the time. Looking back on it though, I almost wish we would have picked one, because my kids got they gave me shit about that. They're just like, what Orgy, like what, like yeah, kind of crazy. But no, I mean, it all worked out. But I don't remember any of the other names that we were thinking of at the time. It was just kind of like just kind of came about, and that's what we stuck with. So
yeah, fair.
Especially,
well, I'm so glad
especially on Google. Right, especially on Google, right? Like, you have to make sure you type the word band or music after.
Yeah. My son was pissed. He was so pissed off. Like one day when he was like, I don't know, 7 or something like that, he was like looking on the computer and he typed it in, and he was just like, it was a disaster. But like, we recovered from it.
We're learning things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm certain I've searched with my safe search off by accident, a couple of times.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So Kid Cadet was talking about her parents being so supportive through all of her phases and looks, but your looks, your fashion sense inspired so many people. So growing up, was there anybody
black t-shirt, but like
there it is.
Yeah.
Was there anything that inspired you growing up?
I mean, I always really liked like fashion, you know what I mean? Like I was always into that for some reason. Growing up in San Francisco, it's a pretty fashionable city, good shopping. And my aunts used to go shopping all the time, so I would kick it with them, and go to all like downtown Union Square, shop everywhere, But and then my dad was really into it when I was a kid. He would fly me down to LA, and we would get clothes made, the same clothes. I don't know what that was about, but he would give me like cool leather jackets and stuff to match his leather jacket, or suits and stuff like that. So it was fun though.
That's
It wasn't so much fun.
Legitimately
Wasn't so much fun getting fitted at a young age when you're just standing there like like guys like measuring you and shit, but the final process was cool.
That's awesome. That's always a good feeling. But like as a kid, I never got that as a kid, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say there's nothing more. There's nothing more classic than just a plain black t-shirt. So
Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah. So you were talking about new music coming out in 2023, and if I recall correctly, I saw on your Instagram, is there a new lyric video coming out tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah. The song's called Empty, and it's a cool track. It's pretty it's definitely like the least heavy of the songs that are coming out next. So, but it's cool. It's really cool. And yeah, that's the one for sure.
On Friday the 13th.
I know.
Yeah.
Very cool. Fun trivia fact, just for anyone that cares about fun trivia facts, but if a month starts on a Sunday, it will have a Friday the 13th. So there we go.
So we're starting off 2023 with a bang.
I know. It's
great.
So Jay, if you don't mind me asking, typically, what is your process when creating? Do you hear a melody first? Do you hear lyrics, or does it really just depend on the day, the hour?
It's generally comes from it starts with music for most of the time with me. I do, like with this empty song, we already had the music, the hook. When they come fast, then I think it's a good song. Like, when it doesn't take much time to come up with an idea, and if you just jump right in the booth and do like a scratch vocal, so it's there, so you don't forget it or whatever. And but yeah, it generally starts with something I do on the computer, and it's always been that way since the beginning. So I just jump on the computer. I love beats, so I always mess with beats. I do like a lot of everything from like hip hop shit to like whatever. But I just love good beats, and so I'll start it off with like a musical idea that way. Put some synth bass on it or something, and then just kind of let the process begin that way. Maybe sometimes I'll put like a scratch guitar down or something, or one of the guitar players will put something down.
So
Carl,
do the lyrics always come before the music, or do you sometimes be like, oh man, I just came up with this fantastic sound?
No, generally the music first and then the lyrics after that. You know what I mean? Like I kind of create like an idea, like a verse chorus kind of thing, and kind of sit with that for a second, then I'll come up with some lyrics for it.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
A spin-off question, because we'll hear about different artists that'll be like in the most random of places and come up with the greatest songs of all time. What's been like the weirdest place that you've ever written a song?
The weirdest place?
Or most unique, or
shit. Everywhere. I don't know, like airplane, maybe, like on an airplane. Definitely done that. Cool ideas on an airplane. If you're sitting there 5 hours on an airplane, it's like you got to do something.
So you can't sleep on planes, Jay? That doesn't work for you?
What's that?
You can't sleep on airplane. If I'm not sleeping on an airplane, like I don't know what to do with myself.
I can't sometimes now. I used to hate flying, like like so much. Like I was like, I picked the wrong fucking business, like say flying, like, you know what I mean? Like you're just not in control, and some other assholes, like, who knows what that guy is on or what he's doing, and bit of a control freak like that. Yeah. I like if I'm gonna put my life in someone's hands, I'd rather put it in my own. You know what I'm saying?
100%. I can't sleep on planes, man. I try. I just can't get comfortable.
These guys, though, one time I was on a plane with these guys, and they kind of took the fear of it away from, which was really cool, because they were both pilots on each side, and I happened to be sitting. They didn't even know each other really, and they were talking right when I got in the plane to sit down, and I'm sandwiched in between these two guys, and they were just saying all this stuff about planes and stuff, and then. I was like, so I take it you guys are both pilots. Like, what are you doing here? Why did you fly? Because they were talking, they own planes and stuff like that. And they were telling me all this stuff about, like, they call the, the flight software that flies the plane for the pilots. They call that guy Orgy. They're like, oh, Georgie's flying this one. Like, da, da, da. I'm like, who's fucking Orgy?
Right.
And, yeah. They were telling me about all this stuff. And they were like, they're like, look, you don't have anything to worry about. And the guy was like, he took a napkin and stuck it out the window of the plane. He goes, oh, this one's pretty good. Usually they just fly right out and stuff. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Right. So I was kind of like, that's weird. And he's like, look, you don't have anything to worry about. He's like, even somebody with like Hulk strength couldn't open one of those doors while the plane's flying. So you don't have to worry about that. And then they
every movie just got like debunked.
I know.
Exactly. So, and what they said was, as long as you keep your seatbelt on when the seatbelt sign comes on, you're cool. He goes, like those two people that blew out the top of the airplane. I'm like, nope, didn't know about that. I guess one of some airlines was on a flight, and I guess two of these, there's like little panels on this, on the white part of the plane or whatever, and I guess a couple of those blew off, and people weren't, seatbelts weren't fastened, and the rest of them all lived except for the two people that blew out the top of the airplane. I'm like, oh, good to know. Okay, cool. So I don't know. That made me feel better that they're like, even if the pilot sucks, the plane's gonna be able to land and blah 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 blah. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Oh my god!
So they
Always wear your seatbelt, kids. That's
I
the
am never
lesson.
not wearing my seatbelt.
No, same.
Exactly.
Same. Yeah.
Exactly.
I was gonna say, when I think of flying, though, the scene that always from a movie that comes in my head is Almost Famous, right? Like, and I'm always, but the same thing, Jay. Like, someone once said to me, like, a pilot was like, "Oh, I never like turbulence. Who does?" But they're like, "Oh, it's just like being on a bumpy road. It's nothing. It's really nothing."
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm like holding on.
I think I'm flying in to Texas. We got caught in another plane's jet wash or something, and that was scary. So the plane just went boom. It was like like I don't know how many feet, but like it was really fucking nuts. And the pilot was just like, "Hey, sorry about that. We're on ready to land." The airport's crazy anyway, but that and Denver are like the worst ones to me. But so we're flying into that, and I guess he got caught in a jet wash, whatever that means. The plane just went, that's about it.
And they're like, "Sorry, not sorry."
Fantastic dreams tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So prior to you coming on, Kid Cadet and I were chatting about Broadway shows. She just went and saw Beetlejuice, and I'm going to New York in a couple months to see Back to the Future. And so we were talking about, again, some movies that have been evolved into Broadway shows. And as you've done several, you've been on several soundtracks for things, but
yeah,
if there was a movie that was to be converted to a Broadway show that you could score, what's your favorite movie that you would like to see put
as a
in
Broadway show? Maybe like Enter the Dragon, or maybe some James Bond shit or something,
Cool.
But probably some Bruce Lee shit would be cool. Like Enter the Dragon would be a good one.
That'd be so funny.
Like that on Broadway.
I'd like to see someone doing like the kung fu, but also singing at the same time.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not like really a fan of like musicals so much, but it seems that people really love that shit. Like that last night I drove by whatever theater that is that has Mean Girls happening right now. That like that's like huge. There were tons of people outside. I was like, what the fuck? So weird.
Yeah.
But
the
the
new fad is movies being made into musicals.
And then being made back into movies, which is what's happening with Mean Girls now, is becoming a movie musical. Right. Oh man,
really?
Crazy. Yeah, it just keeps going and going. So I know, speaking of flying, because or driving, or however you do end up getting there, I know the Sick New World Music Festival is happening. Who are you most looking forward to reconnecting with?
I mean, it's always good to see your homies, but there's definitely some bands that I want to see on there. Was just talking about it last night. I mean, that Turnstile band's really, really good, so I'm kind of excited about seeing them. Who else? What are they called? I'm drawing a blank right now. Oh, there's a lineup. What's that band? What are they called? Well, obviously, System and all those guys. I mean, they deserve to be where they're at, and headlining this thing. So I'm excited to see those guys, and those are good friends. And Chino and Abe from the Deftones and all those guys. It'll be good to see all of them. Really. I was thinking about the that band. God damn it! I was just listening to them yesterday. What are they called? It's on this list. Let me look on this list.
Yeah, this is like.
Oh yeah, I mean, Box. Duh, I couldn't think of the names for a minute, but yeah, Spirit Box. I definitely want to see them, and that should be cool. Yeah,
they're incredible, and I feel like they're a band that, like, over the past couple of years is definitely like blowing up, and I've seen them playing so many festivals, and they deserve all the success coming their way. So incredibly talented. Yeah, that's awesome. I'd like to see Mr. Bungle. Never seen them live before. But yeah, this is a neat, cool lineup. I love it. I also have to say, because I'm really into graphic design since my husband's a graphic designer, I think this poster is incredible as well. So anyway, there's that. All right.
Right on.
Milo, go ahead. Take it away.
Yeah, I mean, and then speaking of shows, so aside from your equipment, is there one thing that you need to have at your show, whether it's something sentimental, whether it's a good luck charm? Is there something that you need to have at the shows?
Just my mic stand, because the other ones will break. Yeah, you know, like I have to have my mic stand. That's it.
Yeah, you're particular. That makes sense.
Yeah, I will break the other ones. They're just too flimsy, and you know, if you just like put up a tripod up there, I'll break it. You know, so I have like a custom one that just, you know, it's basic, but it's heavy duty. You know.
Heck yeah, I love that.
So if you break a mic stand, who has to pay for that?
No one cares. I think the clubs just, you know, I've definitely broke my fair share of them. I mean, not intentionally, but just, you know, swinging them around, doing whatever, they just, you know, they break. Because they have to be a certain, you know, I'm tall as fuck, so it has to be a certain height. So that's what it is. It's like it puts stress on the whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So if I bring mine, it's like two pieces. You just screw it together. It's got a base. Click it into the base, and it's ready to go. Yeah.
So how tall is tall as fuck? How tall are you?
Like 4.
Good for you. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm 5 feet tall. It's a lot different down here.
Yeah.
It's a whole new world. So obviously, Jay, music can severely affect our mood. Like if we're having an off day, sometimes you can pop on your favorite song and it'll instantly change your day around. What song is that for you?
It'll turn my day around. I'm trying to think. Probably Gesaffelstein, stuff like that. Like I love his music a lot. Like yeah, that gets me hyped.
So if would you?
Perfect.
Yeah, along those same lines, is there an artist that you haven't collaborated with that you would like to work with in the future?
That guy, for sure. Gesaffelstein that'd be a really sick collab. I think be a lot of fun. I don't know if you know his music or anything, but he's fire. Like he's really good.
Google it right now if I can spell that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you spell falafels?
Gesaffelstein. So
got it.
It's
yeah.
a great thing, yeah. But he's really good. Yeah. Like since like 2011, he's just been fire. Like really good. I would say if you want to check out a really dope record from him, Aleph, Aleph would be a good record.
Hold on.
And Milo, you have to
Google machine. Hold on. Google machine. All right, Google machine has it. Perfect.
Yeah. Love it. So like I said, you were the first album that I ever purchased. But out of curiosity, who has been like the craziest person or the most unique person that you found out was a fan of yours or Orgy?
Wow, tough one. I can't even think of one right now that was like. There's a couple. Who was I thinking of when you said that? One of those Sam Sheeran guys or something like that, or Sam Smith. I don't know. One of them was, and it was just like, what? Really? You would never. I think it was Sam Smith or something. Or no. I know who it was. It was the guy who did that Affection or Tension song. What's his name? Charlie Puth or something like that. One of those guys. It was him or Sam Smith. And I don't know which one. So if it wasn't you, it's the other one. You know.
Right. Someone who you would never think would, based on their music, wouldn't be into Orgy.
And I was just informed of today on another interview that I guess the Shut Up and Drive Rihanna song. They sampled our version of Blue Monday, which was crazy. I don't wonder who gets paid for that because it wasn't me. Just letting you know. But
Oh my God.
yeah,
Okay. Should we like get Rihanna on the line real quick? Just
yeah.
let's,
I got
let's
it.
get
Don't
her.
worry, I got it.
That's interesting. Yeah, you got Miss Riri. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we're each gonna ask one more question, and then we have a game that we're gonna play. So Milo, what you got?
What was the best piece of advice that you received during your career?
That's a tough one. I mean, so much of it, you know. Like, that's a tough one. Can we come back to that one? Let's come back to that one.
By the way,
Always wear your seatbelt on the airplane.
Did anybody see Eddie Murphy's advice for a longevity in the entertainment career the other night at the Golden Globes?
No, I did not.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna say, look up Eddie. Eddie Murphy gave some really, really good sound advice. And I'm just gonna let him tell you. That way, it comes from him and it doesn't come from me.
Okay.
I would say kill the noise. Actually, like he's like he just said something like because he's really really good. And I was at a show with him hanging out, and he goes he said, whoever stays in front of the computer the longest wins. And I was just like, I mean, not that anybody loves to be trapped in front of their computer the whole time, but like, I guess that's why he's so fucking good at what he does. But anyway, so yeah, he told me that. Pretty cool.
That's fair.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess my final question, like I wanted to ask the desert island question, but just I guess I'll ask instead. Do you remember the first record that you ever picked up that inspired you to maybe want to be a musician?
No, but if I was stranded on like on a deserted island, probably like Death from Above 1979 or Gesaffelstein, something like that would be like the music that I'd want to have with me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
awesome. Yeah.
Or maybe like
I figured you were gonna say Sam Smith, Charlie Puth, and Rihanna, but
yeah,
right.
But like definitely like a heavy, Pantera, right? Far Beyond Driven, Vulgar Display of Power, something like that would be cool.
Now, along those same lines, do you still continue to listen to your own older music?
No, I tried to not do that as much as possible. You get used to playing it for so long, and you're just like, next, But like certain songs still get me hyped from that era. Like if I hear like Break Stuff from Limp Bizkit or something like that, like I still love that shit. And old Korn and Deftones and stuff like that. Far Beyond Driven. Like I was saying, and what else? Around the Fur, like all that.
Yeah. Well, even if you don't listen to your own music, that's what we're here for. Because I still listen to it quite often. All right. So we have a game, Jay. This is a game of Would You Rather. There is no wrong answers. So whatever you pick is the correct answer. So we're going to bring up the graphic. And here's the first one. So it's funny. Here we go. Would you rather perform with the first band you saw live or perform with the first musician whose album you bought?
Oh shit. Shit, I don't know. Probably the first musician's album who I bought instead of the first band I saw live. I mean, it would be like Iron Maiden or like some like David Bowie thing. So I would say Bowie for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. All right, Milo, you got the next one?
Yep.
Okay.
Would you rather switch set list with Korn for a day or with Coal Chamber for a day?
I'd say Korn for sure. Produce Coal Chamber, but Korn for sure.
Fair. And I feel like you could do a lot of really fun stuff vocally with Korn because he does a lot of that. I'm not going to.
Yeah, I just know
that's the jam.
And it's fire. So I'd love to do it. Now, hey, I had fun working with Coal Chamber too. So but I love those guys. But definitely the Korn set.
Awesome. All right, here's the next one. Would you rather, okay, only be able to dress in attire from the 50s or only be able to dress in attire from the 70s?
Uh, I'd have to say uh, that's a tough one. There's some cool fashion in the 50s, but probably something in the 70s that wasn't bell bottoms. You know?
Okay, we're not bell bottoms fans here. Okay,
No.
fair enough.
I get it. I mean, I could rock the bell bottoms, but all right.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather write or compose an album for a hit horror film or voice the main character in a Marvel series?
Definitely a horror movie.
Do you have a favorite horror series or horror film?
I mean, I just saw Smile recently. That was cool. I don't know, like no, not really. I like so many of them, so it's too tough to name one that was like my ultimate favorite. I mean, The Exorcist was crazy. Exorcist 3 was pretty fucking nuts, and no one even really knows about that. But that movie is like, you know, the lyrical content or the, you know, the written, you know, like the script for that movie is pretty insane.
And
The
you were
shit they
actually
say.
on Valentine as well, which is an insane album, insane soundtrack.
Oh, right on. Yeah, that was cool. The movie
All right.
was that good. You know?
I didn't say the movie was good. I said the soundtrack was good.
Yeah.
Well, and I was gonna say, Smile was so good. It was like one of those movies that I went into not knowing a lot about, and it was really fantastic.
Yeah,
So Smile's a great choice. All right, here's the next one. Would you rather, and I apologize for this one, have to perform after eating an extremely spicy meal or perform after having a Novocaine shot?
I think both of those. I mean, I guess like where would the Novocaine shot be? Like that would be the important question there. Either or is fine. I can go either way.
Okay.
I could do either way. Like something that, like, you know, screwed up your you know, talking or something like that. You know, I have probably say the spicy meal thing would be fine.
Good choice.
All right.
Good choice. All right. We got two more. I think.
Produce an album with Ice Nine Kills or produce an album with Black Veil Brides?
Black Veil Brides, they're homies. I would say, but I do love Ice Nine Kills. They're fucking awesome. But I'd go with the homies on that one.
Awesome. All right. So this is the last one. You've made it to the end, and the final would you rather is: would you rather?
And to be, I've already kind of worked on a little bit of a production with Black Veil Brides, so they're really fun to work with and stuff. So Jake's a good homie. So
awesome. All right. So the final one. Yeah. Oops, sorry. Would you rather own a stage outfit that belonged to David Bowie or own a guitar that belonged to Prince?
David Bowie all day.
Fair, very fair. But I do have to shout out, I love that Prince guitar. It is so fun and unique. But
yes, but like, okay, but no way. I mean, I love Prince. Like, you know, I probably listen to him more, but I would definitely say that David Bowie for sure.
This is a hard one.
I know. Do you have like a favorite David Bowie like era? Because obviously this looks pretty Aladdin Sane. What's like your favorite Bowie era?
Like pretty much all of them. He's such an icon. Like he's badass. I mean, I love Life on Mars, Ashes to Ashes. Like and you know, the Ziggy Stardust thing was a little too freedom rock for me, but I loved his like fashion sense, you know, throughout all of it. So I'd have to say, you know, the Ashes to Ashes kind of era. Pretty much. Prince always from the beginning to the, you know, the beginning was awesome.
Yeah. Oh, may they rest.
Yeah.
Just the greatest of all time. And to like bring everything full circle, there is a David Bowie musical. I want to say it's called like Lazarus or something. So there we go. There's a Broadway musical. Maybe you'll want to check out. It's very good. But
That
all right.
yeah.
Jay, thank you so much. This has been so much fun. Before we do wrap it up, is there any final thoughts you want to leave us with here?
No, thanks for having me, guys. And you know, hit me up on that voiceover thing for you know, the video game down.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll put all our contacts out there for you.
We'll talk.
Let's do it.
I do gotta
I'm
say,
in.
back in 2001, I was supposed to see. I can't believe 2001 is 21 years ago. But anyway, I was supposed to see you guys in Papa Roach, and then you guys got sick, and then had to pull off the tour. Is any chance you can call up Kobe and do this tour so I can finally get retribution and see this show?
You talk to them mostly about football because we're all like Niner fans or whatever. But I do talk to those guys. Love those guys. They're fucking. They're killing it always. So they had there's like a big resurgence with their kind of music that they've been doing lately, which is awesome. So heavy shit. It's fucking great.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you said you're a Niners fan, and I'm not going to pretend like I know about the sports like you and Milo do, but who are you hoping to see in the Super Bowl?
I mean, definitely my Niners versus whoever. I don't really care, but I definitely wish they would get there. You know, they need to win one.
Sure. I mean, I think the Dolphins did okay this year, right? Let's go fins up. Is that what we say? I don't know. I'm not.
They're the playoffs.
Oh, we did it. Yeah. Is Don Shula still the coach? That's not still a thing. Okay. I know nothing.
No,
so before we let you go, Jay, we're going to go over our upcoming guests that we have for January and start in February. So here we go. Next Tuesday, we have Katie Babs from SiriusXM Octane. She's incredible. We also have Jared Reddick from Bowling for Soup. We have Marco DeSantis from Sugar Cult. We also have Duncan Sheik and David Josefsberg and so many more. But Jay, thank you so much. This is literally such an honor. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Thanks you guys for having me. And, you know, have a good one. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Buckle up, everybody. We'll see you guys real soon. Be safe.